All right, everyone, here we are with ticker symbol OCGN, Ocugen Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first-time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back, and let's jump into this chart. So, resistance was definitely broken through. The 50-day moving average was broken through, and it was consolidating. We were watching that very carefully in our last previous videos. We were talking about how it's holding itself up above 162. And the new low that was recently touched was 172. If that got broken through, this could be on its way down to newer lows. But I was paying close attention to the fact that it was holding itself up really well. And I was giving credit to the stock overall, how it wasn't just collapsing, that all of this was still being held up by investors that were holding long. There was some sell-off here, right, due to profit taking. And then we needed to watch that there was a subtle, right, downward movement overall throughout the whole chart from the peak of $3, right? We were seeing it going down slowly. So we wanted to watch how long this was going to last. And excuse me for all the terrible drawing, but I do like to illustrate as I speak so you guys can visually see what I'm talking about and why we talked about those points. So we were watching carefully how the stock was going to do moving forward because they're waiting to go ahead and get approval here. Ocugen wants to be the distributor of this specific, right, vaccine that has been made by Bharat, right, biotech in India. Now, they just got vaccine emergency use, right? They were able to receive that in India and their authorization. So Ocugen is still on the works of bringing it over. They want to be the one to distribute it. And they need a U.S. partner. Ocugen stepped up, and you can see that here. Right? That's in that first sentence. So Ocugen stepped up. They want to be the ones to distribute in the U.S. Covaxin, which is what was made by Bharat biotech, right? It was made by them and it has great results. Their trial runs have been great, and the fact that they're using an inactive form of the coronavirus in the vaccine, as we traditionally know how vaccines have been made in the past, it's very interesting. So there's a lot more information on it here, but the main reason why this was running up is because they received emergency use authorization, but not here yet. That's not here yet. They are out in India. And that's one of the most important things to realize right now, that Ocugen is not just Ocugen's performance and what's going on. We need to watch Bharat Biotech because that's where Ocugen's runs are coming from. It's not even Ocugen itself. It's the hopes of becoming the distributor and partner of that biotech Covaxin vaccine to come to the U.S. market. That's still in the works. So with the pandemic entering new waves around the world, it is clear that the pursuit of COVID-19 vaccines will remain a frothy investor focus for the foreseeable future. This means Ocugen stock is still one to watch in the coming weeks. You see, they still want you to watch it in the coming weeks. This is definitely one to have on your radar and so forth. They're trying to bring it over to the U.S. market. They've already partnered up. It just needs to come over, literally. So that's in the works and it's coming. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. So Bharat's Covaxin got a green light from India's drug regulator over the weekend, a move that isn't without some controversy. Investors should note that the EUA was granted less than 2 months into the firm's phase 3 human trials. I mean, this is like really fast. Things are moving really fast for this company, and that's interesting as well. So I found this article and I just kind of wanted to read over it to share with you guys why the run, and you could see how fast things are cooling off. People are just trying to get their profits real quick. You can see that, but every time it's holding itself up nicely. So we got some numbers to look at here. And if Ocugen can officially, it's already partnered up with biotech. They stepped up real fast. They found this This is like literally a diamond in a haystack that they found, and they are sticking, real close to it as much as they can. They're their partner. They plan on being the distributor here in the US markets, but it still hasn't become something official that it's coming over and that Ocugen will distribute it. I think they have so many other things to go through, or Ocugen's waiting for the right moment, or they're trying to see how things go in India before bringing it over here, or whatever the process may be. But Ocugen still has that holding itself back from the full potential. Once that happens, we could see this skyrocket. Now, the reason why it went up today, right, more than double or almost double, and it reached 461 is due to the fact that the stock itself ran up because of this emergency approval, but in India, not here, in India, which is good because whatever's going on with Covaxin, it reflects on Ocugen because Ocugen is in partners with them, and they're going to try to be the distributor in the US markets of Covaxin. So Covaxin has a direct and indirect effect right now on the stock overall. So whatever's going on with Covaxin in India, even though Ocugen still hasn't distributed one vaccine, it could be positive or negative, and it will affect Ocugen in the same way, positive or negatively. So emergency approval is a big deal, and that's why this ran up. You can definitely see it reflect in the stock price, and the stock price has leveled back off close to the highs of 305. As long as this stock stays above 305 and it doesn't go below it, I think that this has potential to kind of consolidate or bounce back up and consolidate at higher numbers and work its way up to newer highs. So that's what we want to watch for moving forward this week, and pay close attention to these numbers. These numbers are all important. Every single one of them is very important. So let's go ahead and see here our supports, our resistance based off the last couple hours of the day. And I want to narrow it down as much as possible so that we can really zoom in here and see what's important. So highest point reach is way up here at 461, 460, give or take. But the next resistance level after the one we're about to talk about would be up here. This is the highest point before the fall, and that's 394. I'd write that down. So you kind of want to dissect this up to these points to see these different levels. Now, the lowest point was down here at 171. And if that gets broken through, if this was to go in the volatility in the downward direction, then we have 162, 161, give or take. So keep those numbers in mind moving forward, because the hype is big right now, but as things cool off, they could go back down. But it's definitely one to have on your watch list and watch closely, because right now there's a lot of good things going on with Covaxin in India, and all it takes is for Ocugen to finally just start distributing or receiving those rights here in the US markets, and it's going to be an impact, and it will reflect in the stock price. So let's see here our 50-day moving average. The 50-day moving average is 242. As long as we're above it, we're in bullish territory. The moment we're below it, we're in bearish territory. It's currently at 307, and our support here is 280. If 280 gets broken through, you want to watch how this stock is doing between 280 and the 50-day moving average. Are the bulls trying to reappear, or are the bears tearing this one down fairly fast and bringing it down to newer lows? Very important to watch and pay close attention to the stock's reaction and how it's doing. Super important. How fast is it moving downwards? Are the bulls trying to reappear, or are the bears tearing this one down fairly fast? Now, you could see that this ran up and it fell down pretty fast. It's already down almost $1.50 plus, and that's a lot of profit taking because of the uncertainty. Or some people, what they're doing is they're loading up on shares and they're selling a portion of what they're holding, and they're keeping the rest to see if it continues to run, right? In hopes that they're feeling bullish and they see more opportunity. But just seeing unrealized profits is not the same as executing an order to sell and making those realized profits, right? So that's probably what's happening here. I don't think this is fear of a collapse here. This is more like just profit taking for now. We need to see how it is moving forward. Now, our resistance is 325. For the bulls to stay in bullish territory and the 50-day moving average not catch up to the price, 325 needs to be broken through and turn into a support. I want every single investor to be aware of this. 325 needs to be broken through and turn into a support so that the bulls can pull away from it, reach newer highs and new resistance levels. Very, very important for the bulls to do so. And I want to emphasize that. They need to break through 325. If not, this could go in that sideways movement, right? And the 50-day moving average will catch up to the price and end up above it. And the price will end up below it, giving leverage to the bears to start pulling this one down to newer lows and newer support levels. So I want every single investor to be aware of that. As always, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. Don't forget to click on the bell to turn on all notifications and not miss a single video that I post. Share this with your friends and community. And don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watched this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.